question came up in my affiliate marketing coaching group today that I wanted to address, and they said basically that I'm writing and I'm creating content and nobody's visiting my website. It's like crickets. Okay, so there's a few reasons. One, if your website is new, it might still be in the sandbox with Google. You don't yet have search engine visibility, and it might take time to build that up, get some credibility, authority with Google, and then start ranking on the search engines. You might even have had a website for a year or two or three or whatever and still have this problem because you just simply haven't created enough content for Google to consider it ranking worthy. You're really going to have to get focused on creating content like a beast. I mean, really focused on creating content. Now, I want to show you how you would find out what content to create. All right. So let's just say that you are a coach. Well, if you're a coach, you write blogs around questions that your clients ask. Like I'm doing right now. This is a prime example. This video is created directly because somebody asked the question and now I want to answer it for them, right? So first you want to go by with your clients' questions. Then you want to go over to Google and look and see what else you can find that people might be typing in, okay? So, your clients you want people to visit your website and your topic is on, astronomy, okay? I know nothing about astronomy. This is a perfect example because I wouldn't even know where to start. So I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to type something in like astronomy. Hopefully you're picking a topic that you might know something about. Okay. Scroll down here to the people also ask box. What is the study of astronomy? What can you do with a degree in astronomy? What are the different fields of astronomy? Why is astronomy a science? Now, if those fit what you're looking for, those would be blogs to start with. They're in here because people are typing them into the search engines. Next, if you click on one of these boxes, more questions open related to that question. This can go on and on and on and on depending on your topic, okay? Now, come up here and look what happens when you click at the end of that letter. You start getting suggestions. Astronomy for beginners, astronomy articles, branches of astronomy, astronomy careers. Now, each of these are various niches, really. Some of them are regular blog topics. You might write on the history of astronomy. You might write on astronomy versus astrology. But maybe your whole website is going to be astronomy for beginners. You want to teach astronomy. All right, let's click on that. Astronomy for beginners. So we create ourselves a niche website and astronomy for beginners. Okay. You scroll down. Oh, how do I start learning astronomy? How can I learn basic astronomy? What is the best astronomy book for beginners? Can you see planets with binoculars? These are actual questions that people are typing into the search engines, okay? These are a great way to start building your website. Now, passion pieces are things that you want to write. Okay, so for example, I have a midlife women's blog, lifestyle blog I just started this year called Midlife Monarch. Now, I know that midlife women are looking things up like makeup tutorials to, make their eyes look bigger or, hiding wrinkles and dark spots. Unfortunately, that's real life right there. How to reduce cellulite, things like that. Those are things that I'm answering those questions. What should a mother of the bride wear? How to help your children, leave the home and start their own lives. These are real things that I'm going by questions people are asking. But then I'm also experiencing being a midlife woman. And the other day I thought about something that I had a personal aha discovery about empty nesting. and I wanted to write about it. So I made a video, a podcast. I sat down and wrote out a full article. I don't know where that blog will go because I don't know that women are Googling the term empty nesting or empty nest or whatever. They might, but sometimes I find fantastic opportunity when I create passion pieces because I hit something that I didn't even know people were looking for, and then I know I can expand on that. But most of mine are going to be driven by actual search. So right now I'm building a website on beekeeping. I know nothing about beekeeping. I picked it because it's a growing niche. Bees are endangered. I wanted to prove how we could build a niche website that we know nothing about. And so that's what happens. Now look, I start typing in beekeeping, beekeeping for beginners, beekeeping supplies, beekeeping in Las Vegas, beekeeping for dummies, beekeeping course, beekeeping 101, right? Okay, so beekeeping for beginners is going to be my website. Let's click there. And then again, look what happens. Put a space after that. Bookkeeping for beginners, books, videos, PDFs, right? Beekeeping for beginners. Then you type in another letter and more things will come up. Beekeeping advice for beginners, beekeeping at home. All right. What else would a beginning beekeeper might need to know? So let's look. Beekeeping suits, beekeeping supplies. So let's click on supplies and see what happens. Oh, look. Scroll down there and look and see if there's a people also ask box. Oh, there sure is. What do you need to start keeping bees? How do I buy beekeeping bees? Where can I buy a bee colony? So now these are giving me ideas for topics to create. So if you're not getting any traffic to your website, or you're getting a very low amount of traffic, and you do have search engine visibility, so you're looking at your search engine optimization tools or Google Analytics or whatever it is, and you can see that you're getting traffic, but it's a very low amount, you might need to work on creating more content that ranks higher on the search engines. If you're ranking on page 2, page 3, page 4, you're not getting a whole lot of visibility. But if you're now approaching the top of page 2, bottom of page 1, you've got huge opportunity now. You start moving those babies up, start creating more content around whatever it is that's registering, and off you go. So you really have to know what to create, what people are looking for. Now, if you want to look at search volume up here, you guys might be asking, how do I know what these numbers are? This is a keyword tool called Keywords Everywhere. It's a free extension. I'm going to tell you that you have to be really careful because keyword tools are all over the place. I'll look at SEMrush, I'll look at Ahrefs, I'll look at SpyFu, I'll look at Google, I'll look at Google Keyword Planner, I'll look at Keywords Everywhere, and they're all different. I'm looking for a ballpark, okay? Here's my ballpark. Anything under about 250 to 350 keyword volume, search volume, I can land pretty quickly. Okay, so I start with those because those are going to register faster. They usually take less competition, less to write. I can get those up running. So I'll usually start with these. So if I'm looking at a list like this, I'm like, oh, used beekeeping supplies. Maybe I want to write an article on used beekeeping supplies and what's safe to buy used and what's not safe to buy used. Maybe, right? All right, maybe I want to include on that same list beekeeping supplies from Amazon, wholesale beekeeping supplies. That could be one blog. I could do one blog that says beekeeping supplies, used beekeeping supplies on Amazon, wholesale bee supplies, right? And I could do something like that and then work on ranking for each of those small terms inside my beekeeping supplies blog post. And over time, I could start building that up and start getting it, more and more search engine volume. So maybe I do beekeeping supplies and then put an A after it. And look what's after it, right? Put a B after it. Take a look and see, does anything there apply that might make sense? So it looks like, checklist. I like that one. Hold on. Hold your horses. I like that one. Beekeeping supplies checklist. Okay. Now look, I did it again. I hit the space bar. Now we have basic beekeeping equipment PDF. Beekeeping methods, honey and hive beekeeping supplies, do-it-yourself beekeeping equipment. You can go on and on and on. So, guys, you don't have to think. It is all here. But if you're just creating content and you're not using any kind of a map, you could be in trouble. If your niche is just all things, whatever, all things house and home, all things cats, all things dog, all things real estate, all things car and auto, all things, I don't know, all things keto. That's one of my, luckily keto's a niche, but it's getting more and more competitive and more of a broad topic. We need to go vegetarian keto. Now there's a niche, right? And so if you're just way too broad, you're going to have a really hard time ranking because there's just too much content out there. So you've got to narrow it down, narrow it down, narrow it down, narrow it down, narrow it down. You can't just create a blog on being a millennial. What about being a millennial? What specifically about being a millennial? The millennial entrepreneur. You're going to talk all about being a millennial and owning your own business and how you make money, and then you're going to talk about all of the things in between there, getting married and buying a house and having kids, but you're going to tie it all back into the millennial mindset and being an entrepreneur at the same time, right? And usually, even when you start doing that, there will be a gap or an opportunity that rises up out of that that's even smaller. My best pockets have come from me focusing on creating niches and then creating a smaller niche within that, and then something inside of that starts to rise up and I just jump on that wagon and ride it, right? Like right now, my midlife monarch one, mother of the bride is rising out of there, right? So instead of just midlife woman, that could be anybody, now it's specifically mother of the bride. That's a whole separate focus, a whole separate niche. And I can write a lot on mother of the bride, on the bride stuff, mother of the bride fashion, mother of the bride etiquette, how to help your daughter with planning her wedding but not get in the way, how to deal with the grooms, how to deal with the in-laws when you're the mother of the bride, right? Who pays for what, how to budget for mother of the bride, just all of that stuff can be in there. Fashion for mother of the bride, makeup for mother of the bride, accessories for mother of the bride. So there's a good dozen articles probably that I can do in there that would rise that up. So hopefully that's helpful for you today. I know it's kind of a broad thing to learn, but if you really learn the elements, you can definitely make money with your niche website.